Ah, London. What a town. History around every corner and a tourist photographing it. Pubs serving up a pint and a smile. All that music, theatre and art. And multiculturalism. And the world's oldest underground, the Tube. The class of cities, really. Top shelf stuff. Only took 12,000 years to build it up, and one night to tear it all down.
What's our status?
Perimeter security's down, but plenty of your flying friends about.
Fucking hell.
Dalton, no time to waste.
Yes, ma'am. I'm in.
If you haven't brushed off, I might. Ever consider security threats to the authorities?
That's rich, Bagley. The government would sooner arrest us for trying to help than actually do something useful.
We'll have to sort this one on our own.
Careful.
Bagley, are you detecting a little worry in Sabine's voice?
Brilliant. Asking the computer about feelings. This explains so much.
Shut it, you two, and get to work.
There she is.
Their profiles are heavily encrypted. No identifying information.
Ghosts in this system.
No, 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 no.
That hurt you more.
Do us a favor and keep it quiet, Dalton.
If they don't shoot me, I won't shoot them. How's that?
The I's cross the T's, lads. Copy that. Tick tock.
not worth my time. Puke.
Set gear down here. And why do you suppose that is?
What? Did they get their hands on it?
I don't know. But someone wants to make it look like dead.
Shit. You need to proceed with extreme caution, Dalton.
Who are these men in black anyway?
Nothing identifying. I suspect that's by design.
Oh, fuck me. The interblow.
Jesus, those... Is that...
RDX nitrogen. Enough to level Parliament.
Can you locate a detonator, Bagley?
Not exactly, but there's a fuckload of encrypted data from the floor above you.
Yeah, that fits the bill. On my way.
Bagley, is that not the detonator?
No, but it's a transmitter sending a signal on the floor above us. Safe to assume that would be the detonator we're looking for.
Wander too far. Clear!
The long go. Bag local cameras, maybe their own CTUS.
You must be joking.
They've stayed propaganda all around the bombs. These pricks are going to blow up Parliament and hang it on us.
No.
Right in the House of Commons. Whoever these men in black are, they've got brass bollocks to set up in the centre of...
I found the detonator. It's definitely live. Bagley, I'm gonna need some help with this.
Yes, you... Sadly, I'm locked out.
Fuck. We don't have a chance without Bagley.
Wait. We trained in manual overrides at MI5.
You're full of surprises. Be quick about it.
All right, Bagley, do your thing.
I'm in. And the bombs have just armed themselves. Well, that may complicate matters.
Can you
Of course I can, but I might also trip another failsafe and vaporize you, so fair warning.
Expect this to draw some attention your way, Dalton.
Oh, I'm counting on it.
Company at our back door.
Here at HQ.
How long is this gonna take, Bagley?
To interrupt me with questions.
All right, everyone. Guns on, guns out. It's about to get real.
Fuck.
They're on me. I'll try and hold them off.
They're here. Fucker could be anywhere.
Bagley, okay. Let's just say I'm both impressed and annoyed by how sophisticated this anti-tamper security is. Still working.
Watch out! Shots fired! Need help! Pressing target.
I'm through security, now wading through terabytes of decoy code looking for the detonation sequence.
This has gone completely tits up.
Moving! I need a hand! They've got me pinned!
Well, this is really fucking bad.
It isn't.
What's wrong?
There are 3 left. One of them is the receiver. You need to pull the controller wire.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I'm fucking not. Pull the wire.
If this gets me blown up...
Bombs?
Bagley, you bastard. Be a bloody heart attack then. Whoa. What the fuck am I looking at?
It appears this is not the only target. More bombs are going live as we speak.
On screen, Bag.
No, we need to get the word out. Those sites need to be evacuated.
There isn't any time.
But my sister's at the town conference. We have to do something.
I picked up a transmitter on the roof that is sending out a signal to the other bomb sites. If you can reach it...
I can shut it all down.
Fuck! Dalton, we're breached! Go! The roof!
Sabine, what's going on?
We're being raided. It's a bloodbath. Everything, including Bagley.
I need him for the transmitter.
But if they get it, names, ops, locations...
Okay, I'll do it the old-fashioned way.
Yes.
Do it, Sabine, and get the hell out of there.
Fuck. Okay, Bagley's down. You're on your own. Dalton, if this goes...
It won't. I'll see you at the rally point. I promise.
Oh shit! Oh fucking hell! Fuck! Everyone's down!
Are you?
Oh, you still think you're here to save London? I'm a fan. You're here, us with some important
work. Thousands of...
Exactly. To save the world. You do know London as a before, hmm? The plague, the Great Fire, the Blitz. There's not much fun. Action is always the cure. And it begins today. 0 day. It's time for a hard reset.
Oh my God.
A series of explosions devastated 3 sites in London. Authorities are asking residents to remain in their homes as the situation continues to develop. We have received no official casualty total, but it is expected.
Mourners gathered for a series of candlelight vigils that brought closure to thousands of families and indeed to an entire city. London is now laser-focused.
Today at 10 Downing Street, when Nigel Cass, CEO of private military company Albion, received a mandate to secure London. Cass has vowed to hunt down DedSec. Terrorist responses failed. Albion used cutting-edge artificial intelligence systems and autonomous drones to capture the remaining members of DedSec. A stark warning to would-be insurgents.
Top corporations are posting record profits due to increased efficiencies in production and distribution, enabled by the use of technologies initially developed and approved for security purposes.
Overdue cleanup as crime numbers take a dive. Illegal gambling, drug trafficking and prostitution all down following prosecutions of the leaders of 4 of London's 5 largest criminal syndicates. The streets of Camden and Brixton.
Reminding Londoners, as Albion's mandate is extended indefinitely by the government, life finally begins to return to normal. Curfews and travel restrictions have been lifted in all boroughs, thanks to the deployment.
News outlets, reports of rioting in Trafalgar Square have been greatly exaggerated, possibly by foreign meddlers pushing a false narrative through social media. Albion is in complete control of a few...
To reprimand the public about the circulation of fake news. Net, that terrorist group DedSec were framed for the bombings, have been roundly rejected. Our own reporters could not find a single Londoner willing to expound those theories on camera. The facts simply do not support any other story.
I need to assemble it. I can't reboot DedSec alone. Let me break into London CTOS and see who's available.
I'm Claire Waters, and we've been discussing the hacktivist, now alleged terrorist group, DedSec, on this week's Buccaneer Radio. Colin, what's your take?
Now, I've been saying from the start we should have rounded up DedSec and thrown them in jail. Now, I'll say they should all be lined up and shot.
You don't find it awfully convenient that they've been fingered but we've seen no proof?
Look at Tone! Look at our city! What more proof do you need?
Well, Colin, I'd say you have to look at their history of non-violent action. Albion's put more civilians in the hospital in the past few months than Dead's has. I smell a scapegoat. Now I have Emily calling in. Emily, what's your take?
You're absolutely right, Claire. The government's just framing DedSec because they want to make it seem like they have this under control. They probably have no clue who was Minx. But that doesn't look... DedSec's been a thorn in their side. Who better to pin it on?
Angie, how do you make of all this?
I think, if anything, DedSec showed their true terrifying. Such a dangerous element for years. Terrorists in our own backyard.
Do you find DedSec more frightening than the different gangs like Clan
Kelly might set your shop, maybe they'd kill you, but even they wouldn't try to blow up Parliament.
Next, I have Crypto King. Do you feel safer using a pseudonym?
Everyone should. Easier. And now we've seen what they're capable of and how far they're willing to go.
Hold on. Do you mean that suggesting the government was responsible for the bombings?
Oh, trust me, Claire. They didn't do it alone. Albion, Sirs, Bloom, Sky Bloody Larson, and all the way up to Downing Street. They want to keep us scared, harness us with mind control, suck every last ounce of usefulness out of us, and even in death they'll set off our bodies.
And what do you suggest we do, Crypto King?
Go underground. Deep enough, no electric signal can get you. It's the only way.
Well, thank you to all of our callers today, and thank you for tuning in and scouting for the truth along with me. Next week, Buccaneer Radio, diving into the Albion Corporation. Just who are these men and women being paid lucrative amounts for the city's defence? Are they protecting us? Protecting London? Or someone else's interests? See you next week, fellow pirates. Claire out.
Situation is worse than I thought. But there's a candidate. Looks like you're DedSec's best hope.
Enough!
lucky you're alive. Committed to the cause, DedSec needs you. I'll send you the coordinates to our last safe house. Meet me there.
Fine.
Chinese the other night, and fuck me if it didn't just fly right up on a quadcopter. Totally worked out. Fucking will not fix it. You're this turkey's do not good for Christmas. And just trashing everything. You're safe. Yeah, I guess. Right. Goodbye then.
Disobedience will be met with force.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's great. Absolutely. Problem? need help!
Please advise on new...
Make sure there's room for processing.
I've downloaded a patch to your optics so you can access our security system. It's set up so that I can't just let someone who isn't DedSec in. You'll have to do the manual override.
Secret passages and hidden bases. Oh, I fucking missed this shite.
I'll see you downstairs later then.
Open sesame. Anyone around? Guess not. Let's find the power then.
This is the bug. Hello, resistors. It's bug time. Are you all sitting comfortably? No? Good. That's as it should be. This is the bug. I'm Andy, and joining me to analyse the latest blowflies to emerge from the corpse of a once free Britain, it's Alice.
Hello, Andy.
And today, we're going to talk to you about Albion, your friends and mine. Alice, the government has extended Albion's contract and have also boasted that violent crime has plummeted to a record low. Now, extending Albion's contract, to me, that's like having a pet dog, let's call it Nigel for the sake of argument, that attacks you every single day and thinking to yourself, wouldn't it be nice if Nigel had puppies?
That contract has been extended so many times, it's like the neck of a politician that's criticised the government.
I'm not sure entirely how those contract extension negotiations went, probably like a footballer. In the old days, I assume Albion's agent was leaking stories to the press about how our favourite private militia was being tapped up by the whole unit. The government panics and thinks, well, we better get them signed up before it's too late. But still, violent crime, a record low, although I imagine that probably depends exactly how you count it. If you include violent crime by the state, either themselves or via Albion, their contract, such a very valuable bargain service of beating people up, well, it's probably not quite as low as the figures suggest.
I don't know. I think Ryan has the opportunity to violent crime these days anyway. The moment you pick up a fruit knife, you get tasered by a robot policeman and deported for looking Bulgarian. It's a much more peaceful society. It's just much less of a society.
I want to know the details of the contracts, Alice. I mean, are they paid per dissident duffed up? Is it a set rate for each extrajudicial state mugging? And what is that rate? What do you think?
Well, they certainly look like they're trying to hit a quota of some kind.
What is the set rate? Is it 99.95 cryptos bargain? Seems very reasonable indeed. I imagine they don't ask too much anyway, because it's just so nice to get paid for doing it doesn't even feel like work.
I mean, who needs violent crime anymore? Any starved to death without even starting a gang war?
We do have to ask exactly what does the Prime Minister make of all this. Let's ask him. Oh, I hope they pick up. Hello, you're through Link Street. Hello, is the Prime Minister there, please? Let me just check. Sorry, you've missed him. I'm afraid he's popped out for the decade. Oh, never mind. Is there any... Yes, of course. There's a shady cabal of vested interests who control him and prop him up in power. Great, I'll have a chat with them then.
Oh, Andy, remember when you could get away with prank calls without people coming around to get shit out of you?
Oh, happy time.
Listening to the bug.
Did you think the Prime Minister will...
I don't think we've ever had a Prime Minister.
Well, that's a much more reassuring way of looking at things. What have we become, Alice? When you look at the state of our politics, we're supposed to have the parliament. Well, this is one mother caught up by wolves. And let me tell you, that never does in the stories. Wolves are bad parents. Unless you're a wolf, they can do a job bringing you up as a wolf. Do not give your children to wolves. And do we actually own anything as a country now? Is there anything we haven't flogged off for? Oh, I think we've basically just become a homeopathic Britain. Diluted and diluted until there's barely a trace of the original Britain left. But some quack...
Coming up today on The Upload, we're talking about Skye Larson, the enigmatic founder of Broker Tech. Everyone knows her name, but no one knows too much about her. And we only really see her these days as a hologram. She was pretty young when she launched Broker Tech, the company that is best known for introducing Bagley to the world. Nowadays, it's hard to remember a world before Bagley.
And I think that what Skye Larson's done with Bagley is absolutely incredible. Bagley is the most advanced, significant AI of our time, and it's really all the other AIs that were created out of the water.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really imagine the optic without it. But what's Skye Larson herself?
Not a lot, other than that she's actually pretty incredible. I've followed her work for a long time, and she's always been a pretty private person. I know that she supposedly grew up in the countryside, but there isn't actually that much more we know about her other than this tech that she's put out into the world.
I've always found it a bit creepy that she's so obsessed with this idea of transhumanism.
Why wouldn't you be? When you've got a mind as amazing as Skye's, why wouldn't you want to take what you've got and actually augment it, being your physical self, changing your body and the world around you, implementing more technology to extend your life and really sort of extend human capabilities?
You sound pretty much in love with Skye Larson, I have to say.
I can't comment on that, but I am a big fan of her work. She's been one of these people that has transformed the world around us, and just watching how her mind works from afar is pretty incredible, because some of what the technology she's introduced has changed how we all live our lives, and Bagley has been this really incredible assistance to humanity as a whole. Did I ever tell you that I actually interviewed Sky Larson once?
Really? I thought she never spoke to the media or anything.
So this was a long time ago, back in the day when she was a little bit more accessible. And she was one of these people that just had an amazing presence. You were inspired by her very being, and she was just incredibly talented and knowledgeable, and one of possibly the best living people that I've ever met.
I'm not sure you're being too objective there. I mean, I imagine she's not very likable as a person.
She obviously despises humanity in some way. I think she believes that becoming data is preferable to being human. She's one of these people who's extremely methodical in everything that she does, and she does everything to perfection and really tries to change the world around her and make it a better place for us to live in.
If you say so. Hello and welcome back to The Upload. In this episode, we're talking about CTOS 3.0, the city operating system that's now powering all of London. For those of you who need reminding, as if anyone does at this point, CTOS was first used in Chicago in 2014 and then San Francisco in 2017 before coming here to London. And every time it's been rolled out, it's been pretty much an unmitigated disaster.
For those of you who are listening who are lucky enough not to be here in London's chaotic scenes, it's worth remembering that the telecoms tower is now owned by Bloom. The tower looms over northwest London. It's always been a communications hub, acting as part of the UK's television and communications network, although there's been some secrecy around its use, and now that Bloom owns it, it's only even more secret.
Yeah, now everything that's part of Bloom's city surveillance operation is run through the telecoms tower. And I have to say, it looks
No DedSec registration detected. Identify yourself, or I'll seal the exits, hack your optic, and read you every drunken email you ever wrote until you starve.
Then you'll have to explain my untimely demise to Sabine.
Sabine's alive? Well, that's one piece of good news. I'm Bagley, DedSec's definitely not stolen, highly advanced AI assistant, and it seems I've been out of commission for a few months. Anyway, why don't you go connect me to the DedSec network so I can become more powerful than you could possibly imagine? I mean, catch up on what I missed.
This is London Calling. You're here with me, Tash, on Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. In today's world, we've all had to get used to our every move being tracked by the optic on our temples, by the cameras around us, and with every click we make online. Seems like everything we do feeds the big data beast. Why are data giants like Bloom so hungry to get hold of our private information and our metadata? What are they using it for? Will we ever have real private lives again? What is privacy in the digital world? And what happens when capitalism and surveillance become one? As you know, we keep all names confidential on Buccaneer. Speaking from a secure location, here's new technology strategist Charles, who worked all over the world trying to keep democracy strong in the face of the data assault.
Ah, that's it. I'm reconnected to the network, downloading our database, news archives, and oh no. Terrorist group DedSec responsible for deadly bombings in London. Dalton Wolf dead? I leave you people alone for a second and you immediately cock it all up.
That's the shape of it. What I want to know is if it wasn't DedSec who did the bombings, who was it?
There's a gap in my memory after Dalton, well, let's be honest, after I disarmed the bomb at Parliament. I'm missing information about what happened after I was taken offline. But from what I can infer, an unknown hacker group identified only as Zero Day was involved. I believe this Zero Day staged the attacks and framed DedSec for their dirty work. Come to my terminal. Sabine is requesting a video call.
This is London Calling. You're listening to Buccaneer, your pirate podcast source for what they don't want you to know. I'm Tash, and this time we're giving a special shout out from us to the boys and girls at the Signal and Intelligence Response Service, better known as SIRS. Why not? They're going to be listening anyway. They're listening to everything. They probably know that you're listening to this show right now, but don't worry. We're not going to say anything bad about a massive, unaccountable spy organization that uses its powers to stifle dissent and shut down free speech. Instead, we're going to look. SIRS became so powerful. And as usual, we'll keep everyone's names and locations secret, so SIRS doesn't come looking for them. Charles is an expert in the dark arts of surveillance who worked to set up democratic media in post-communist states. How did it go so wrong in Britain?
You know, we're looking at all the wrong things when we look at Britain's crisis. There's a lot of
Patching in Sabine Brandt now. I suggest you listen very closely to anything she has to say.
There you are. I'm glad you made it. Bagley. God, it's good to hear your demented little voice. Is your memory intact?
Not even slightly. The last record I have is of our HQ being... My only lead is a group known as Zero Day. Ring any bells?
He was attacked by some men in black, the same that were at Parliament. Maybe working together. We didn't stand a chance. They just gunned everyone down.
Christ. How did you make it out?
I managed to escape through the sewers to Camden, me out of the city, and I've been hiding out in the north since.
Prudent. Your profile is red flagged as a high-priority target in the city's surveillance system. Recognition here would have you hunted down and shot on sight.
DedSec is about as popular as the plague these days. Look, you know I'd do anything for you, but fucking hell. Sabine, that's a lot to ask.
Listen, if anyone knows anything about risks, it's me. But it comes down to this. London is in a death spiral. And if DedSec can't pull it out, trust me, no one can. The city needs a resistance. And it starts with you. What do you say?
Fuck it. As fate's worse than death.
Excellent. New user registered. Welcome to DedSec. Now, it would be responsible of us to release you naked and mewling into the wild. You'll find equipment around the safe house that are essential items in your DedSec kit.
Hello and welcome to today's episode of The Upload. We're talking about the optic and how it's changed our lives. Now, as you remember, Bloom announced a new version of the optic at the recent Tone conference, but we haven't heard too much about that since due to the dramatic events there. Let's cast our minds back and consider the technology. I mean, the optic changed everything. It lets you see things in AR. You no longer need a smartphone. You just have the small implant that sends signals to your optic nerve and lets you see your emails, take calls, and browse the internet directly as if the screen was in front of your eyes. Instead of having to carry around a phone, you've just got the small handheld unit. So much lighter and so much more convenient. It's great.
Vicky, you sound like you absolutely love the optic. Do you actually think that it's made our lives any better?
I mean, sure, it's definitely made things a lot easier. It's so simple to call someone now. All you have to do is choose who you want to chat to, and they're there to talk. And browsing the web is so much easier. I remember when you used to have to sit at a computer with an actual keyboard and mouse and type everything out. And my favourite feature is public transport. With the optic, you can just walk straight onto the tube. It even acts as a passport. No longer do I have to dig around and try and find my old paper passport just to travel somewhere. Also, I thought the optic's marketing strategy, making it free for people, was a stroke of genius.
Genius. Bloom really calculated when it was doing that. It was pushing this draconian device on us at all. Sure, everybody flocked to it. There was free Wi-Fi and phone plans. That definitely helped, but it wasn't a case of this is a product that you need.
Why do you hate it so much?
It's just the worst because you had to give up your privacy expectations and accept surveillance. Almost like the government and Bloom didn't even need to make the mandatory. Making it mandatory was only to get the last holdouts across the line. If free data didn't convince you, fines and arrests from the state for not having the optic would pretty much be enough.
I mean, what do you mean by privacy problems? No one really talks about that anymore.
They don't talk about it because we don't have any choice when it comes to the convenient and mandatory, but everybody's forgotten what it really means. Here, you've got a whole company owning all the data about your life. Bloom can see everything that you can see. Nothing is private anymore. So many times when I don't want anyone to have a clue about where I am, who I'm chatting with, what I'm doing. It's not even dodgy stuff, but I just don't want anybody to blackmail me with this in the future by hacking it. And because of Bloom's contracts with the government, it isn't just Bloom that can see everything I do, it's the government. The UK as a state has become a complete surveillance paradise.
I think you're painting a bit of a bleak picture. It's not all that bad.
No, you're completely wrong on this. I don't want wherever I'm going around London.
Well, in that case, you might be interested in some rumours I heard. Did you hear that some DedSec hacked a way to bypass the optic's connection with Bloom?
Are they actually making it better or usable or actually friendly for anybody?
Well, word on the street is that they've been able to create an encrypted signal, which means that your world might chance of becoming more private again, so you could go back and enjoy all the great things about Optic without that fear of surveillance.
We have a sophisticated system for hiding your identity from facial recognition tech. It's called a mask. And while we're here, perhaps we can talk about updating your wardrobe. I mean, look at you. Come on.
These fancy new toys, but it's also important to know the basics. You need to learn how to throw a punch and how to take one. Albion will escalate if you come at them with a gun and shoot you down. Will damage. In DedSec, we tried to use guns only as a last resort.
Have you already met Connie Robinson? She owns the pub and is an old DedSec contact. Not to mention, go to the practice ring and she'll show you how to stop flinching when someone at you.
Calling. You're here with me, Tash, on Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. In today's world, we've all had to get used to our every move being tracked by the optic on our temples, by the cameras around us, and with every click we make online. Seems like every do to beast. Why are data giants likely to get hold of our private information and our metadata? What are they using it for? Will we ever have real private lives again? What is privacy in the digital world? And what happens when capitalism and surveillance become one? As you know, we keep all names confidential on Buccaneer. Speaking from a second, here's strategist Charles, who worked all over to keep democracy in the face of the data assault.
If you have enough personal data on somebody, you're able to predict what it is that they're going to do. You can tell what they might be passionate about, but mostly you can tell what they fear. And if you can tell what some, then you can manipulate them and you can move them in particular directions. Like, data is collected on citizens in every possible way. Data is collected through surveillance cameras. Data is collected from television sets. Data is collected from voter records. It's collected from how much power do you use in your house and how much water do you use in your house. In pre-crisis Britain, we got really used to all of our services being free. Everything suddenly became free that was digital. But what people forgot is that if you're not paying for it, then you're the product being sold.
If technology brings out the worst in capitalism, capitalism brings out the worst in technology. Senior academic Alfie tells us how big business repurposes big data.
Historically, what's happened, of course, is that people have traded their privacy for their convenience as smartphones and other kinds of technology came in and became mass-consumed, mass-used items and technological objects. Gradually, people were so attracted to the affordances of these technologies that privacy kind of retreated into the background and into a state we've got now where it's essentially gone. Having this access to this data makes huge tech companies like Bloom so much more powerful otherwise, and not just in the obvious ways. Of course, there's a lot of worry and fear over what they can do with the data, can track anyone, find anyone, see what every doing at any point in time. But I think there's even deeper reasons why this empowers these to control our society and make us do things. So lots of predictive technologies which are implemented by these tech giants. It's not only interested in knowing what we're going to do, but influencing the patterns of our movement. So technologies might suggest routes to use in the city, places to go, restaurants to go to, cafes to listen to. And these suggestions are not just predicting what we might like to do, they're actually the way citizens move, think, eat, meet, and use their city as a space. So London has become a group of surveillance capitalist companies like Bloom can control the movements of individuals and orchestrate the way they move around their city and the way they essentially live, the things they do, the things they enjoy, and the life they lead. So we're really kind of outsourcing our decision making, I would say, to a huge corporate capitalist company, and there's something very, very scary about that indeed. All these technologies can be used to not only influence us to act as the perfect consumer, but also to prevent technologies in foreign nations that have been used are things like heat map features which show where populations are gathering. In-game rewards can be offered to people to take different routes, things like that. Traffic data can be manipulated to prevent people gathering and protesting, as has happened in some of the authoritarian regimes across the world recently. So what we're looking at is not only a set of technologies which make people behave as ideal consumers, but ones which actually can be put to use to prevent radical and disruptive behaviour in the city, which limits the power of any kind of revolutionary force.
So, if you thought you had a private life, get used to it. You don't. And we're not going to reclaim our lives without a fight. I'm Tash, and you've been listening to Buccaneer, keeping the resistance informed. Keep listening, keep fighting, and remember, nobody owns you but you.
Hello and welcome to today's episode of The Upload. We're talking about the optic and how it's changed our lives. Now, as you remember, Bloom announced a new version of the optic at the recent Tone conference, but we haven't heard too much about that since due to the dramatic events there.
I'll be right down. Could use the warm-up.
Let's start with some basics. Hit me. Don't be shy. You want to get in under... Couldn't have done myself. Just like that. Quick on your feet now. You want to create distance. You're getting it. You're getting it.
Right. Gear in order? Know enough not to punch yourself in the face or get shot for pulling out a gun too early? Brilliant. I'm working out how we find Zero Day and ruin their day, but I need someone with actual legs to do the legwork. Hope you're ready.
We have some damage control to do if we want to change the perception that we're a bunch of violent thugs.
country, yeah. What do you think you're gonna...
All right, let's do this. What's the plan, boss?
Make no mistake, London is under occupation. Armed mercenaries patrol our streets, allegedly to keep people safe, but really they're keeping the people scared.
Oldest trick of the authoritarian handbook. Make people afraid of nothing they please themselves.
So, we have to ignite the will to resist in the people of London by showing them that Albion aren't the solution. They're the problem.
For that, we'll need information. I'm pushing 2 sets of coordinates to your optic.
Cheers, Bagley. I've identified 2 opportunities. 1, we're going to disrupt some Albion propaganda. Remind the people it's not Albion's way or the highway. 2, we need intel about Albion operations if we want to throw a spanner in their plans. You game?
You know I am. Let's light this motherfucker up.
Brilliant. Let's get the people of London on board.
Can you believe this shit? What the fuck is going on? Shut your mouth. Get on with your life. What do you think you're going to accomplish? Unbelievable. Stop this right now. Stop taking a piss. Who's had a bit grim? Crawl back into the ice age.
Happens with the best of us.
And begging me to pick him up some milk for his burning uni.
Well, hello, sexy. Long time no see.
Sheila got out of the cab.
Look, I know I smell nice.
Just the right
You're
time.
too close.
Bloody idiot. I think you've lost your dunces.
I mean, you know, she wasn't bothering anyone at least, but attracted a few looks, but no worse than you get if you were, eating a curry.
Building a resistance group requires operatives with specialized skills. Technical abilities, firearms handling, and physical training are all valuable. Bare-knuckle boxing rings are a good place to find people who are good at throwing punches, or taking them. By defeating each opponent in an arena, you'll have an opportunity to face its best fighter. Prove your physical superiority, and they may consider joining DedSec. I'm guessing that's some sort of primate society thing.
Yeah, I guess. No, listen.
Stupid fuck.
Breathe, all right? You're a shit. Get out of here.
Albion will disassemble unlawful gatherings by any means necessary.
What?
Protest rallies are not permitted.
All right, let's just say this is physical coordination training. I'll keep track of your score.
Just have a wank. You'll release some of that tension.
Fucked that up, didn't I?
Oh, wait.
Ah, shite in the bucket.
Sonic drone.
The demands of being a DedSec operative are all-consuming, so taking app gigs is a good way to make some extra quid that works around your new schedule. Lots of people will pay well to have their sensitive packages handled with care, and some will even pay you for deliveries. Ha ha! Mind yourself, you don't want the authorities catching you with that.
Suspect reported in your area, potentially armed and hostile. Received. Moving in hostile's direction.
All right, I've got you.
Yes.
Watch!
Received, we are in pursuit.
Eyes fall.
Okay. That's great. Absolutely on. If you can, yeah, sure.
Whatever. Bless. Yeah.
Control, I've lost sight of the target. Over.
Continuing unlawful activities will result in arrest.
Bloody nuisance.
Returning to ground.
No visual of target. Ending pursuit. Over.
Hey, pay attention.
Oh, you are so.
Albion personnel are here to serve the community. Obey them.
Fucking hell, did I just witness?
Facts and figures are trivial.
Oh, that is.
Selfish. Not much. They want to know.
Right. Oh.
Otherwise, their discovery may be considered a threat.
Me as well, mate, yeah. I know. Yeah. Yeah, it's bad, isn't it?
Right to hell.
Today's been unusually good. No.
Are you dumb?
No, listen.
Intrusive tosser.
There's no point, no? Right.
Albion needs your help to keep London safe. If you see something, say something.
Next week.
I refuse to put up with this.
Yeah, I left out.
Thought it was clear the first time.
What the bloody hell are you going to do about it? This is a free country. I can't run.
Why didn't you try and take it all out your
Protests are dangerous.
Come on.
Reporting to base. Give me a break. Base, what's our status on the
Tin
tree?
pan. Yes. Stupid. Yeah, but hang on a minute. No, I didn't say.
Yeah, I guess. No, listen.
Yeah, no, I know.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No thanks.
Interfering with city run
You're wasting your energy.
Report the incident immediately. Failure to report an incident could result in arrest.
Yeah.
That was kind of fun.
punishable offence. Individuals inciting and promoting disorder are a threat to London security. You have been warned.
Get out of my life, you horrible little shit!
Don't fucking laugh.
It's Albion, Albion, fucking Albion everywhere. It's burnt into the skin of this city. This isn't just propaganda. This is a fucking psychological cattle tag.
There's going to be that much less once you're done here. Let's give Camden a break from these eyesores.
I'm on it.
If you hijacked that, you could use it to access the rooftop.
Yes, nicely done. That'll get people attention. Let them know someone is standing up to Albion. Light the spark that they can stand up to.
If nothing else, it'll relieve their eye strain.
What now?
You need to steal information about Albion's plans. That'll give us what we need to really put the hurt on their operations.
Listen. Just calm down. There's no point, no?
All right. Okay.
Stupid drone.
Those who do not cooperate will be detained.
Oh god. Oh god.
Waiting area crime report.
Let's find... Drone, performer, sir.
Shit machine. Rusty piece of junk.
Stay focused. I've been there. Just think of all these
That's fucking nasty. Get away from me.
Fucking Dave! Don't!
You, ID check, now. Suspicious behavior.
Anyone party?
Hello, Monty. Well done, you. Knocks all over me.
Oh, shove harder.
Disobedience will be met with force.
Eat my fist! You have a criminal record. Big shot.
Right, I'm leaving.
Clear. Suspect neutralized.
In need of assistance, resume patrol. Over.
Investigation. Hello? Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Have fun, weirdo.
Good to know some things
Never
aren't
change.
completely rubbish.
You're brilliant.
You seem nervous, hiding something.
What? No, I'm just walking.
Son, you're just weird.
You can never be too careful.
What?
My
Bad.
fucking ear!
Rubbish bit of kit. Yep, absolutely. Yes, indeed.
That's just sad.
You telling me this now?
Yes, my son.
Go fly somewhere else. Pesky little things. Like a ruddy dog.
Albion have established an operation base in the Royal Court of Justice.
Suppose the tracks that they've taken over the courts, they throw everyone who crosses them in a cage.
Exactly. Means there's about how Albion are targeting why. We need that data if we're going to disrupt their operation.
Someone's on the ground.
Spread out and find them.
Take it elsewhere.
Moving on.
They're gone. Let's head back and regroup.
up.
What have we got, Bagley?
A list of what Albion consider high-value targets that are threats to the peaceful running of London. See here, a journalist, and this one runs a community shelter. Good God, bar your doors.
What the fuck?
All suspected of sowing rebellion or exhibiting tendencies towards... Albion is systematically arresting people even before they rise up. Joke's on them. This list can actually help us find like-minded allies willing to help us. Well done. We're already seeing results from what you've done. That list we found named a journalist in Camden who's been investigating Albion. We reached out and he's got information that can help us. I think you should meet with him.
Send me the location.
Sadly, I can't arrest people. They do anything else? Perhaps you should talk to them. I'm sure they will understand.
Having a laugh?
Pardon me. Are you dumb?
You're in my base? Don't be. Oh. Ah, charmed. Can I help you? Enjoy yourself. Could you step back, please? Bugger off!
Persons to count groups greater than 5. To do so is a crime. Awaiting area crime report.
At all. You can. Oh, you already said that.
Yeah, what are you saying?
What's up, asshole?
Albion encourages all illegal immigrants to turn themselves in to the proper authorities. Your surrender.
Alright, enough. You're creeping me out.
Excuse me.
Maybe I'll grab a pint to celebrate. Sure. Yeah, of course.
Watch it!
You're sorry. Steady on.
You don't know me, but I heard we might have some mutual interests.
I take it you're in DedSec? Good. I have something you might be interested in.
I'm listening.
I was sacked last month, along with my entire division. Apparently, we were all deemed replaceable.
Jesus, that's awful.
Oh, save your pity, I'm fine. Still, it all seems a bit off to me. You can't replace that many high-skilled tech workers all at once. It's impossible. At least, if you're doing things above board.
So you want DedSec to look into your replacement then?
Spot on. You do this, and I'll make it worth your while. That sounded bad, but you know what I mean.
Damn it! Yeah, have a nice life.
Persons shall be flagged for investigation.
Not sticking around for this. What? Bloody disgusting.
Stop chatting with your girl and get back to work.
I've had about enough of this. What's going on?
What is this?
Oh, I don't.
Can't be serious.
Wagwan!
can't be.
I heard something, asshole.
Something, is that it?
Heard you need help. What can I do?
You're the crew that's been sticking it to Albion. Can't believe someone else is. Thought I was alone, right? Not doing much, just putting the word out. But you? Taking action, mate.
Yeah, agreed. Tyranny isn't an idea. It's an institution. Boots, paper, plumbing. We tear down Albion, we make room for something better. So what do you have?
Almost got clip finding this. All of Albion's operational data for the entire city. Convoy routes, surveillance targets, assets. It's all there. Thinking you can make good use of that.
Fucking right.
Here's a sample. Albion's closed King's Cross to the public, right? But what people don't know is that they're using it as their logistics centre. Materials, troops, whatever. A lot of it runs through there. You want to give the people a huge boost? Hit that place. Put it out of commission, and you'll severely hamstring Albion's operations here in Camden. Hell, everywhere.
That's the move, then.
Albion's operational plans are just what we needed to really get some traction. We'll have to take a close look at this. Now, how do we take King's Cross offline?
Albion's housed a massive hybrid-powered generator in there. Output must be immense. You cause a power surge in that beast and boom!
Thought this was closed to the public. How'd you know all this?
It cost me a news drone. Okay, maybe 3, but it's worth it if this comes off, right? Getting to that generator ain't gonna be easy. They've locked it up tighter since I last saw.
Any ideas?
My news drones are still in here. They should be functional. You can use one of them. Probably have better luck piloting it too, yeah?
Well, causing a power surge in a hybrid powered generator isn't like making a toasty. We're going to need detailed specifications.
Let's get nosy then. Yeah, check this out.
Cool, looks bloody complicated. Newsy's got a pretty functional camera. Would a picture do you, Bagley?
It would indeed. According to this, there's an override code to the system.
Hostile target, deploying combat measures.
got a gold mine of information out of St. Pancras. Albion convoys, informants, gear, you name it. Everything we need to ignite the people of London, like we did in Camden. Derail Albion's operations and give the people a reason to rise up, borough by borough. The more we do that, the more we'll get allies flocking to the cause. We'll show London that DedSec is here for them.
That was off the chain, mate. I knew DedSec weren't the bad guys Albion was saying. Now the rest of Camden will too. Thanks.
Thanks.
Now that you've shown the borough what DedSec is really all about, there are going to be folks wanting to join up. A lot of people have been looking for a way to fight back. In fact, there's one in particular I suspect will contact you very soon. I happen to know they're champing at the bit.
Grand. Appreciate any leads you can send us.
Well, fuck me, you're still alive. I owe Sabine a tenner. Not only that, but your resistance handiwork just opened up a whole new source of information. So now I spy with my hypothetical eye something interesting at the Ministry of Civic Management.
What is it?
The Signals Intelligence Response Service, or SIRS, or the Earl Grey Gestapo, have developed a surveillance technology called AR Reconstruction. It's the bleeding edge of privacy rights violation, and thus it could be very useful in our attempts to find Zero Day.